Our situations are not going to change much from now until the end of the year. We are always going to have these hurdles. We are always going to have struggles. It is always going to be hard to prioritize ourselves and especially prioritize our health and fitness goals, even when they're really important to us.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. My name is Brooks Herbis, and I'm an online fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach who's here to help you simplify and make sense out of the all too confusing fitness and nutrition industry. Let's be real, there's a lot of conflicting information online, and it can be hard to know what's legit and who to trust. In every episode, I'll be sharing the science and psychology behind health, fitness, and long-lasting behavior change. But I'll also be sharing real-life practical application, because all of the best info in the world only matters if you can actually apply it to your real life. So grab a coffee, water, glass of wine, or lace up your walking shoes, and let's dive in.
Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. And today we've got a little bit of a tough love episode for you. So if that is not the headspace that you're in, save this one for later and come back to it. But a lot of times my friends tell me when I share tough love on my Instagram stories, they're like, you know what? Whenever you say that, I know it's something I really need to hear, but I also know it's going to make me be like, dang, okay, something's got to change. And that is really the inspo behind this episode. And I hope that after this episode, you guys are feeling invigorated and ready to make some changes if you need to, because we are in July. I just had to think about when this episode is coming back. I think or coming out. I think it will still be July or early August. And 7 months of the year have gone by. And if you are still chasing the same goal that you were in January, maybe you've seen a little bit of progress, but you've gained it back. Maybe you're still kind of fluctuating within the same 5 pounds. Maybe you haven't gotten started at all. If you are still chasing the exact same goal that you were at the start of the year and nothing has changed, this episode is for you. This is exactly who I'm talking about, because nothing changes if nothing changes. And this episode, like I said, it's going to be a little bit spicier than usual because sometimes we need a little bit of a wake-up call. We need that reminder of, hey, I can't just keep being a passenger in my own life. Like, I can't just keep saying, I'm going to wait for life to slow down. I just need a little bit more willpower. I just need X, Y, and Z to stop, and then I'll get started on my goals. Because the truth is that we are 7 months into the year. And unless something has like drastically changed in those 7 months about your life, meaning, I don't know, you all of a sudden, like all of your problems and busy schedule and work situations have just magically disappeared, then we can't keep waiting for that perfect time. We can't keep waiting for all the stars to magically align to start making progress towards our goal, to start putting in effort, to start prioritizing ourselves, to stop like saying like, hey, I just need more time for this. Our situations are not going to change much from now until the end of the year, unless you decide to like completely change your career or something like that. We are always going to have these hurdles. We are always going to have struggles. It is always going to be hard to prioritize ourselves and especially prioritize our health and fitness goals, even when they're really important to us. So what that tells me is that we need to figure out how to start navigating these things now. You need to figure out how to start prioritizing yourself now, because we are not making some giant drastic changes before the end of the year, which means that if you haven't made any progress the first 7 months, unless we start to make some shifts, unless you start to figure out how to do these things, even when life is busy, even when you're stressed, even when it feels like you have no time, it's going to be January and you're going to be in this exact same spot. And I don't want that for you, because I know how frustrating it is to be in that cycle of again and again and again, you're setting the same goals, you're not making any progress, you're feeling frustrated with it. And I see this all the time. We are chatting in the DMs, and like I know that this is a regular pattern. We have a conversation, you're in the same spot that you were 30 days ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Nothing's ever changed. And that's frustrating. It's frustrating to want these things and keep putting yourself on the back burner. You're still struggling with emotional eating. You still struggle to get to the gym. You're still making these perfect plans and never following through with them. So this is your wake up call that we can't keep putting you, because that's why it's you. It's not just like your health and fitness goals. It is you and making yourself a priority. You're putting yourself on the back burner. And we need to change that. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about, completely overhauling your life and suddenly becoming this like health and fitness goddess. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not what I do with my clients. I help you really learn how to navigate these things that are all feeling like roadblocks anymore. That extra busy schedule, how hard it feels to prioritize yourself, the stress eating. Those are the things that we need to start to work through. Those are the things that we need to start to uncover so that the next half of the year feels a heck of a lot different than the first. You can make progress. You can see results by January, but we have to start making changes now. So let's start there. What has been going on that has kept you feeling so stuck? Maybe it is that emotional eating. Maybe it is the fact that you never seem to follow through. Maybe it's that you keep second guessing if you're doing the right thing. Maybe you start really strong on Monday, but you fall apart every weekend. Maybe it's all of those, but let's pick one of those to start. What do you feel like has been the biggest hurdle, the biggest roadblock to your success so far? Okay, I'm giving you a pause to think about it. And if you need more time, pause the episode and then we can come back to it. And now I want you to think about how you're going to address that in the second half of the year. Because again, these things have been hurdles for a reason. And unless something in our lives have drastically changed, it's probably still going to be a hurdle. So, what is your plan to make the second half of the year different and to overcome that hurdle? And spoiler alert, something like, I just need more willpower, or I just need life to slow down, or I just need more time. Those are not plans. I'm talking like a specific plan that's going to get you out of this cycle. So if it is something like stress eating, are you developing other coping mechanisms that aren't food and alcohol? Okay, how are you going to develop those coping mechanisms? Do you currently have the habits and the skills in place to know what that would look like? Let's say that it is your lack of follow through. What is that like main reason that you feel like you're not following through right now? What is your plan to overcome that? So maybe it's your all or nothing thinking. Do you know how to overcome that all or nothing thinking pattern and change your mindset? These are the things that we need to talk about and that we need to think about if we want the second half of the year to feel a lot different than the first. We want to identify what's felt hard. We want to identify those hurdles, but we also want to identify how we're going to overcome those hurdles moving forward. Because right now, when we just keep staying stuck in this pattern, we're draining a lot of energy. We're starting to reduce our ability to believe in ourselves and our ability to be like successful with this. And we're wasting a lot of time. So instead of wasting the next 5, 6 months being stuck in this pattern, draining your energy, questioning if this is possible for you, we need to start making these changes so that 3 months from now, 5 months from now, 6 months from now, we're not saying the same thing. We're able to say, hey, we moved the needle. Hey, we made a little bit of progress. And that starts with working through these hurdles. And I'll be honest, if I was going through that and you said, I know I need other coping mechanisms besides food and alcohol, but I don't know how to develop that. Or if you say, I know that my all or nothing thinking is a problem, but I don't know how to overcome that. Like if there's a big question mark on any of these things, that is probably where we want to start talking about coaching, because these are really hard things to break on your own. It's human nature. We want to self-sabotage ourselves. We want to stay comfortable. We want to keep doing the same things that we've been doing because at least we know like what that results look like. So if you have a big question mark as to how are you changing these hurdles the second half of the year, that is where one-on-one coaching comes in. I want to find and fill that question mark for you because until we can overcome the stress eating, until we can get out of the all or nothing thinking, until we can start to follow through when we said we would, we can't expect anything to change. And a lot of times we think that we can move the needle by just setting more goals. We just say, I'm just going to be more consistent. I'm just going to have more willpower. I just need to hit 10,000 steps. But we don't think about everything going on in the background that's making those goals hard to hit right now. So in this second half of the year, I don't want you guys to just focus on the goals. I don't want you just to focus on the end result. I really want you to get clear about what's going on in the background and what has made the first 7 months of the year not go as planned. And if you can't give me a concrete answer as to how you're changing those background struggles, that is where we really need to change something because we can't expect the second half of the year to look any different if we're not addressing and overcoming the hurdles that have made the first half of the year so difficult. So just imagine how much easier these next 5 months could be if you knew exactly how to overcome these things. Like you knew how to start developing other coping mechanisms out for stress, if you knew how to reduce your all or nothing thinking, if you knew how to navigate all of these hurdles and have them no longer be roadblocks, how much easier would your fat loss be? That is why we need to start addressing these things moving forward because we need to get over those hurdles. We can't stay stuck in the cycle of always just setting new goals and hoping and praying that this time is going to get different. We need to be a lot more specific and we need to start addressing the root of what's been going on because you guys, nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you are in the same spot you were in January, maybe even the January before that, we need to get serious about making a big change. And I'm not saying a big change in your lifestyle. That's not the case, but a big change in how you're approaching health and fitness. The way that you've been approaching it to date, putting it on the back burner, waiting for the perfect time, telling yourself you just need more willpower. You have 7 months of data to say that approach has not worked. So now I want you to give yourself the opportunity of 5 months of something else, something different. Give yourself a shot at seeing more results. And I'll be honest, I know if you work with me, you will see results. That is something I am extremely confident in, but I want you to give yourself the shot, whether it's with me or whether it's, doing something else. Give yourself the opportunity to try something new because everything you've been doing up to this point, you have the data to say that's not working anymore. So what needs to change? What do you need to commit to? What is the big thing that you are doing differently when it comes to approaching your health and fitness the second half of the year to actually move the needle, to give yourself a chance at success, to see different results by the time January comes back around? I don't want you to be stuck for another 6 months. I don't want you to be stuck even for another 6 weeks because it's so possible for you to get out of this cycle. But you need to recognize that nothing changes if nothing changes. And you need to be brave enough to invest in yourself, to know that you're worth it, to know that this is a priority for you in order for the second half of the year to really feel different and to really move the needle. If you want this sort of change, if these goals are serious to you, we have to cultivate this new mindset. We can't stay stuck in more of the same. You need to address the root of the problem, and we need to get to a place of being comfortable trying something new. So, really, as we're tying this all together, really reflect on these last 7 months. What do you think has been holding you back? Why have you been stuck in this holding pattern of saying you want results, maybe doing it for a little bit, and then falling back into old habits. Like, where is that holding pattern coming from? What is the big thing that's holding you back from losing weight this year? Or whatever your ultimate goal is. Is it the stress eating? Is it the all or nothing thinking? Is it your self sabotage? Is it your inability to follow through? Like, what is that thing that feels really sticky? And then, how are you overcoming that? What is your plan of attack to change that? And I don't just mean I'm going to reduce my all or nothing thinking. No, that is not specific enough. You need an active plan to reduce the emotional eating, reduce the all or nothing thinking, um, feel confident in your ability to follow through despite hurdles. Like, you need an active plan for all of those things. And the biggest challenge in all of that is to get uncomfortable doing something new. Like I said, you have 7 months of data to say that your current method isn't working. So, how can you get comfortable trying something new? And like I said, if you are serious about reaching your goals this year, you can apply for coaching in the bio. Let's chat. Let's see what's possible for you. At the very least, we'll hop on a quick call and you'll leave with a better understanding of what you should focus on moving forward. But if you're serious about seeing results this year and getting out of this pattern, coaching could be the big thing that changes it all for you. So I want you guys all to know you are so capable of this. You are not broken. You do not need more willpower, but you do need to do something different. So if you are ready to stop spinning your wheels, let's make that plan. Let's figure out how we can get you to follow through. So thanks, guys. I know that this was a spicier episode. I know that this was a little bit of tough love. I hope this is what you needed at this point in the year. If you have questions, anything, you're ready to work with me, head to the show notes. You can apply for coaching. Otherwise, shoot me a DM. Let's chat about it. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am so excited to chat with you all again next week.